Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you enjoyed today's content, please click like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Please share the video to your friends and family if you think this is something they would be interested in. This is a follow-up on the previous topic on articles. Today we're going to talk about count or countable nouns and non-count or uncountable nouns. Knowing the difference between the two will greatly help you with your usage of articles and also your singulars and plurals. So let's begin. I'm going to start by giving you a few nouns. All you have to do is to decide whether it is a count noun or a non-count noun. The first example is it a count noun or a non-count noun? The answer is kittens are count nouns. Why? Because we can count kittens. We can say 1 kitten or 20 kittens or 30 kittens. What about the next one? Is it a count noun or a non-count noun? Sugar is a non-count noun because sugar is difficult to count. You can try to count the grains of the sugar, but really what's the point in that? What about the next noun? Is it a count noun or a non-count noun? Of course, since TVs are easy to count, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TVs. Then televisions are countable nouns. Okay, let's try the next one. Is it a count noun or a non-count noun? Can we count rain? Because it is a weather phenomenon, rain is an uncountable noun. How about the next one? Is it countable or uncountable? If you said countable, then you are correct. But if you said uncountable, you are also correct, because candy can be both count and non-count. It may be confusing at first, but there are nouns that can be both count and non-count depending on the usage. The last example that we have can also be count and non-count. The material, which is paper, is a non-count noun, while paper, if we talk about a report or the newspaper perhaps, then these are countable. So how do we know whether a noun is a count noun or a non-count noun? Here are some tips. Count nouns are people, places, or things that can be counted. This is a simple explanation because you can physically count them. You can say you have 1 of these, or 10 of these, or 20 of these. In the first example, we can physically see that Jane has 3 kittens, so we can count them 1, 2, and 3. So we can say Jane has 3 kittens. In the next example, we bought 2 TVs for the house because we can count the number of TVs that we bought. On Halloween, children receive candies because again, candies can be counted. We can say 1, 2, 3, 100, 200, 10,000 candies. In the previous topic about articles, we know that adding a or an to a noun means only one. So, if I said, a kitten came to me at the park, it means only 1 kitten, and this can be used for count nouns only. Our company has a TV in the break room, which means 1 TV in the break room. Martin sent me an email after the meeting. Because the noun email starts with a vowel, we have to put an instead of a before the noun. The last distinction between a count and a non-count noun is that count nouns have a plural form which ends in s or es. For example, 12 employees attended the conference. Our park has many cherry blossom trees. I would like to buy 6 potatoes. All of these are in the plural form because it ends in S or ES. For non-count nouns, you cannot put a number before the noun. In the first example, do you add sugar to your coffee? Both sugar and coffee are non-count nouns because they are impossible to count in powder form. My apartment needs some new furniture. Furniture is like the general category for things like tables, chairs, lamps, desks, and so on. Brianna prefers to buy food instead of cooking. Food is an uncountable noun, so we cannot put a number before food because they cannot be counted. Non-count nouns are not preceded by a or an because we cannot say that there is only one of these things. In the first example, can I have some water, please? Instead of using a or an, we can use another determiner like some to say an amount, but an indefinite or unspecified amount. Jessica brought milk from the farm. Like water, milk is a liquid and is uncountable. We cannot count milk. So, we cannot put a or an before milk. I have a lot of stuff to do today. Stuff is an uncountable noun. So, instead of a or an, we can use an idiom like a lot of to indicate again an indefinite or unspecified amount, but since we use a lot, then we're talking about a large amount. Non-count nouns also do not have a plural form. Advice is just advice. I need your advice, not I need your advices. You cannot add s to the word advice. We do not have much time before the movie starts. Time in this example is a non-count noun, so we cannot put an s to this word time. However, what we can put before time is an indicator like much, to say that again this is an indefinite amount. History was not my favorite subject in school. History as a subject is a non-count noun, so you cannot say histories or musics or chemistries. As a subject, we cannot pluralize these words, or we cannot pluralize these nouns. So, history is just history. As I mentioned earlier with furniture, non-count nouns are like a general category, which means they refer to a whole group that are made of other parts. For example, if I said fruit, fruit would be the main category, while under fruit you have bananas, apples, pears, and grapes, and these are all countable because they have a plural form. We can count bananas, we can count apples and pears. But fruit is just the general category for all these things. Other examples are grammar, vocabulary, equipment, information, traffic, jewelry, mail, snow, and poetry. You are not supposed to put an S to these things because these are non-count nouns. Abstractions or abstract nouns are also uncountable because this is more of an idea or a feeling than something that is physically solid. Abstract nouns like happiness or beauty, kindness, ignorance, health, patience, fun, courage, experience, time, violence, and luck. Do not add an S to these nouns because they have no plural form. Happiness is just happiness. Kindness is just kindness. So if I can't put a number, or I can't put a or an, or an s to make it plural, what can I use with count nouns and non-count nouns? On the left side, you will see count nouns, and on the right, non-count nouns. Words that you can use with count nouns are several, many, a lot of, and a few. For non-count nouns, several cannot be used, that's why this is blank. We can also use much, the same as count nouns we can use a lot of, and for non-count nouns, instead of a few, we can say a little. Try practicing these with nouns that you already know, like let's say many people, or I don't have much energy. You can get a list of nouns online, and there are many sources that will help you determine whether this is a count noun or a non-count noun. Try practicing several, many and much, a lot of, and a few and a little. The confusing part is that some nouns can be both countable and uncountable. In the first example, the noun experience can be both count and non-count, depending on what you actually mean. In the first example for count nouns, experiences here means something that happened to you, or something that you experienced. But for the non-count version, experience here means skills, or it can be knowledge, or something like that. So this one cannot be counted. You can also get a list of these online. There are many sources that will tell you whether a noun is a count noun or a non-count noun, or if they can be both. And it will also give you a definition of when it is a count noun and when it is a non-count noun. Finally, to give an exact amount of an uncountable noun, we can use units of measure, like a container, or the amount itself, or the shape of the uncountable noun. In the examples below, you can see a glass of water. To make this plural, we need to change glass to glasses, like 5 glasses of water, or 4 bowls of soup. For the amount, you can use a kilogram, a quart, a liter, a milliliter, and so on and so on. For the shape, it can be a box, it can be a bar, like a box of flour or a bar of soap. All of these can make the uncountable noun into a countable noun because we're using another noun as a container, or we're using the amount or the shape. I hope you keep practicing what you learned today so that you will know the difference between a count noun and a non-count noun, and whether to use an article or no article, use words like a lot of, a few, much, and many, and so on and so on. Give the video a like if you learned something today. Subscribe to the channel so you'll be updated whenever I put out a new video. And if you have any comments or if you have any suggestions on a topic to discuss, please leave your comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.